Hello, everyone. Just sound check. Hopefully, everybody's hearing me fine. Just yes or no. And excellent. Nice to see you again, Takeo and John. Switzerland today. I knew you were headed there. I knew you were already there. Been to Switzerland once. I actually have a Swiss Army knife. North Carolina. Excellent. Definitely want to get back to Switzerland too, as well. Take my family. I really did like it. Well, we'll all make millions of dollars off of our entrepreneurial efforts, and then nothing's too expensive. I always say, kind of like what's expensive for one person, obviously we know is not necessarily expensive for another. I remember I was at a gas station doing on a road trip, and not even thinking about anything. Why would you, with the story I'm about to tell you? So I'm just buying some snacks for the road. Beep. I got kicked out. Strange. Yeah, I'm back. That was weird. Uh, Copying me again. Vendasta booted. Not Vendasta. Webinar Ninja booted me out. Yes, you're back. Okay, excellent. And as I was saying, so it's a little road trip, and then I'm take up my goodies up. Hello, Silvio. Take
Hello,
my
everybody.
goodies up to the counter, and the gentleman looks at me and he's like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Not sure what you're talking about." He goes, "You got beef jerky in here?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "It's expensive." It was $20, right? But again, everything's relative, right? I'm like, "Okay." He goes, "Oh, you've got beef jerky money." So I've never heard anybody say that before, but to one person, if you had beef jerky money, you had a lot of money. I'm like, okay, I guess I got beef jerky money. So welcome everybody. Silvio, obviously, partner in crime, is here for us. So um, obviously, ask any questions that you want. We're going to be digging into a few more widgets today. Obviously, you know that we go to the hour, we get as much done as we can in the hour, and then we will tackle more topics of conversation coming in the coming weeks. Now, also, as promised, those that were on our last webinar, and we actually just did this today, if you log into your platform, you will see at the very top the banner, and we have brought out our white label starter, if you will. Just limited. We're only going to, what we're starting to do as we go forward is actually limiting some of the stuff that we're actually selling. But you'll see in there, and just log into your platform, you'll see an upgrade to the white label. That's what we went over on Thursday, and we had so many of you email and so many ask, where is it? Kind of caught us a little off guard, which is unusual. But so go in there, grab it, take advantage of that now. Get in there and learn it, and that way, when we have our next white label meeting this Thursday, you'll be able to see and carry right along with it. And then once I hit a certain amount, I'm going to be inviting you also into a training group, which we will actually do over on Skype, and it'll be dedicated to just the white label owners, which will be even uh, along with and our webinar. So it all depends on which platform that you're on, Rich. If you are logging into platform.mobifirst.co, you will see it in there. Other platforms, we will bring it out there too as well. Well, Rich, which platform are you trying to find it under? If you can just let us know there, Rich. And I'll do a screen share, and hopefully I can pull that up. Let's just see here. It should be there. Let me show you. As you can, if you're seeing my screen, white label upgrade limited time right up over in the top banner, but if you're not seeing it, it may be a different plan that you're on, Rich. So not sure. Rich, do you happen to know which plan you're on too as well? If you can determine that, that would be helpful too as well, and then we can make sure that it's viewable in there too as well. James, you're seeing it. If you're on, we only basically allowed it for two plans that people currently have. Okay, excellent, excellent. There's not too many times, folks, that we do informational webinars, right? But when we do bring something else, such as the white label, we had a bunch of you saying, "Hey, we want this." If you're serious about this platform and you're serious about taking the next step in the entrepreneurial side, come and join me on the white label. Maybe even attend some of the webinars that we have. But our best product is our white label. It really, really, really is, and I hope to see some of you all take advantage of that. It's just such an incredible product to actually have. We will actually give you a bit more information. We are actually, we have actually signed an agreement with a company called Vendasta. Now, Vendasta is, some of you are probably hearing it for the first time. Vendasta is a massive marketplace. Take JVZoo, take ClickBank, and then take it up a few notches, if you will. So it's not affiliate marketing; it's an actual marketplace. It's an incredible opportunity that they approached us with. So I just try to put it into perspective that the platform that you're actually seeing, right? This is a company that's valued at close to $1 billion who reached out to us, and they want our platform in their marketplace. Quite frankly, that costs somebody upwards of $30,000 a year, except for when they want it. What we're offering in our back office to you all is a substantial savings over what we're actually charging for it on Vendasta, which is $300 a month. So that can kind of tell you the value of this actual product far outpaces anything that we're ever going to offer our current loyal listeners. So again, it's a kudos out to everybody, and also a big kudos to Silvio and our entire team for getting on with such a huge company like that. So awesome. Just means pretty sure the world's going to hear about it. So, but I won't get too further in there. What's the plan? Shannon's JVZoo Plan Agency Unlimited includes 50. Yes, it would not have been on that one. Rich, thank you for sharing that. Hi, Chandra. Is there only a monthly payment? Linda, yes, on our white label, that is correct. There is only a monthly payment option. Oh, no, nothing, Mark. You haven't missed. The only thing we're going over is we had a white label meeting demo going over it last Thursday, and we had a bunch of people that we promised that we would make that offer. It wasn't even an offer on our last webinar. We said we'll make one up, and that's what we did. So if you see something in your back office, if you will, an upgrade to white label, you'll see into there. It's $99 a month. Yes, awesome. Okay, Mark. So if you saw the replay, that's what it was about. What we're doing now is we're doing every Monday. We're doing. Silvio is going to be leading the call, and we're going to be talking about widgets and technical, and maybe putting together some widget sites. On Thursdays, which I'm going to be hosting, is where we talk all white label. Everything that the white label offers to as well. So we're basically spinning up into two. The AI option, that is, okay, so our AI option that we had, that offer a little bit ago, as we said, was going away. That has gone away. Now we'll be bringing that out on a monthly basis going forward on our AI. So that's why we were saying to everybody at the time, please grab a hold of this because it's going to be going away. And the offer was just bonkers. Oh, you just said no, it's not $300 a month. No, that is actually what we are selling it on Vendasta. So a big marketplace, and even that, it's and that one they'll even upsell it for even higher than that. Alrighty, but I didn't want to get into white label. By all means, show up on our Thursday one and ask any and all white label questions. We're here for Silvio to kind of go over some of the widgets. And obviously, I've been answering some of the questions here. So Silvio,
Yeah.
get away
All right.
that way.
Okay. Awesome. Here I am. All right, awesome. Thank you, Scotty, as usual, for the introduction. And we are obviously. I mean, I we love to talk technical. We love to, learn and teach and then exchange information. And but we also want to all do business and think and provide ROI opportunities for everybody. So that's what it is. All this being said, let's go back to our widgets. Last time we talked about some basic basic widgets and basic structure of each widget. As usual, keep questions coming. Scotty, I'm going to share my screen in a second. Scotty is going to interrupt me or answer question as I did on the white label on the more marketing commercial webinar the other day. So just keep questions keep coming at us with questions, and we're going to answer them, all of them. So let's start from something that we get asked quite a few times, which is how to replicate, let's say, an existing page from an existing website, right? So we have a website and we want to replicate an existing page. There are, let's say, two ways. One, which probably is not as effective as I would think of, and the other one, which is a little bit more effective, but clearly means that you are replicating the HTML content of a web page. Because if we use the content block widget, we can always, and this is something that maybe you overlooked, maybe you missed. What we can do is we can always edit or enter some source code, okay, some HTML straight into the widget, okay. So what we could do is let's take a general website that we want to WordPress theme. Okay, so for example, let's get a general website that we would like to replicate. Okay, and for every website that we have, we can always okay, we can always get the HTML. Okay, you see, this is the HTML of
Did you want
this.
to share
Well,
your screen right now? Or?
oh, I don't. Yes, I am, but I don't know why. It's okay. Let's do it again. Let's try again because it says share screen. Okay, let me know. Do you see it now, Scotty?
I am not. I don't think anybody. No, we are not. It's starting to. There
Okay.
we go. There we go.
All right. All
It
right.
took a
Sorry
second.
about that. I don't know why I click on share screen and it doesn't share.
Now we're seeing
Anyway,
it.
so we have created our content block. Okay, so we have our usual main title, main text, and then we have selected a website that we want to somehow replicate, those content we want to replicate. So we can view the source. Okay, and then you see, usually you might want to take the body, from the body to the end of the body, for example, in this case. Okay, so now we copy, so Control C. Then here we go into the source and then we paste it here. So we have pasted the HTML, okay, of this. And then at this point, let's say that we have those contents that we can now, obviously, we have them with the um, uh, style and layout that we have for this website, for the MobiFirst website. But as you see, we have now some pieces of that website. So we can now edit this and, let's say, replicate that page into a content block on MobiFirst. Again, this is not optimal, and what we usually suggest is that you start from scratch with an existing website, with your website on MobiFirst, and you create it from scratch. But especially for smaller pages, for not huge pages like the one I copied, this can be extremely effective in bringing the structure, bringing the content, and then you can adapt it to your website here on here on MobiFirst, right? So again, just copy it. You can also obviously just copy the HTML, some smaller HTML bits, and you can copy them into the source code right here. Okay, so this is another little trick of the content block. All right. One thing that we didn't talk about last time are these elements right here. For example, location and map. You can add any. You can add a map to any. Now we're gonna clean this. This is the content. Okay, you can add a map to any content block and obviously to any element, to any element, to any item of a list. And the way you add a map it is that you enter here the address and you select it from the drop down, because this ensures that the marker is correctly placed. You can also drag and drop the marker, and as you see, the address is then updated. You can specify a different address if you want to. Again, this is the one which comes from Google, from the geocoding of the Google Maps. This is the one you can write on your own, and then you can write, this is the location. You can write anything on the button that will be shown above the map. Then you can decide if you want or want not to show the address. You can specify on desktop the height of the map in pixels, and likewise on mobile, and then specify the initial zoom, right? So then you save, and then here you see the map is actually added. If you notice, I ask you to notice one thing. The page is loaded and you see that the map, now it loads very quickly, but usually it loads a few milliseconds after the rest of the page has been loaded. This is something that we are done on purpose because Google, the usual, these pieces of external JavaScript like Google Maps, they are really, really heavy and they really slow down the loading time of the website. So the way we circumvented that, and the way that we can keep a page like this one with a very high page speed index, is that we defer the loading of the map by a few milliseconds. So basically here we have a very simple web page, but usually you don't even notice that the map is loaded with a slight delay. But that makes sure that the user experience and the page speed analysis tools experience and analysis is actually still, gives the page a very, very good ranking in terms of speed and accessibility and user experience. Okay, so again, and then obviously this is a regular map that you can then, and then if you notice, we have this button here, and if you click on it, the map is opened with the directions from your location to the it's a pretty, I would fly there very happily actually. But anyway, that's that is a very quick and easy way to add a map to any content block. So we talked about the map. Then we have attachments. That's also pretty interesting in a sense that, let's say that you want to attach a PDF file or an audio file or something like that. All you have to do is just browse here. Then let's see if we have something, any PDF here that you can get, and then so you upload this, and then attachment. Then you can type anything you want on the button text here, and then if we go here, okay, you see that now we have in the content like this this button, and if you click here, you download. And bear in mind that all this is always hosted on Amazon, on AWS, so it's doesn't slow down your website. It is hosted on the most secure one of the most secure infrastructure of the web, so you can attach anything, again, a PDF, an audio file, anything else. Finally, you can also add comments. This is obviously more useful for blogs and that kind of stuff, but you can enable comments. And as you see, we have 2 comments that we don't have of our own, because managing moderation and all that would be actually very, very complex. It would probably add, make your site less reliable in a way, or open up spam and all that. So we enabled you to we empower you to allow Facebook comments or discussed comments, which is a third-party system which works pretty well for managing comments. So for Facebook comments, we can just say yes, we enable comments, and then we say we select the Facebook comments and then add your comment. Okay, and then now we go here, and then right below here you see we have the comment section that would be linked to Facebook. As you noticed, you see now it takes again a few milliseconds for this section to be loaded, so it doesn't affect your page loading times. Okay, questions. Oh my god, quite a few questions. All right, okay, so let me stop sharing and let me answer a few questions. Okay, thanks, Mark. Actually, it was in the content block, exactly. In the content block, so let me share my screen again, and I'll show you that. Now I'll make sure that it should tell me when my screen is shared. Is it sharing? Not yet.
Not seeing it yet.
Not yet.
Let's see here.
Okay, so let's give it a second. Okay, let's try again.
Yeah, they changed a couple things here on Webinar Ninja.
Yeah. Because apparently it is telling me that it is sharing my screen, but it is not. Okay, now it should be sharing. Okay, so you see here in the content block, we have all of the stuff that we checked the last time, headings and the points, the font size, alignments, and then we have this little thing with the what is called angle brackets right here. When you click here, and if you notice, when you type something, for example, you add a link. This is a link, okay, and then you will link it. Oops, okay, whatever. Okay, and then if you click here, you will actually see the source code of this thing right here. Okay, so you can always check and edit the source code. Okay, so for example, let's say that we want to change this from a P, which is a paragraph, to an H1, which is a heading. Okay, the biggest heading. And you see, so you can edit your content in a content block both ways. You can edit it here in the what you see is what you get editor, all right? Or you can edit it here in the source code, okay? And this is extremely useful, for example, when you upload an image, when you pick an image, and let's say that we want to put this one, okay? And then you see here the image tag, and you can change the width. For example, you can say 100% and leave height alone. So this ensures that your image will always occupy 100% of the space available. All right. So we go here, and now check this out, and you see that now the image is always 100% of this available space, right? If we change this, for example, to 50%, right? And then we center it, for example, obviously, you see that, so you can play with this, and you see that now it occupies 50%, it is centered, and then you go check the source code, and you see that it is, it changed the style, so it's display block, margin left, auto. That's one way. That's some CSS to make an element centered, and then it says with 50%. Notice this, by the way, this is an very old HTML attribute, which is still recognized, obviously, but now the preferred way to control the width of an image is to use by using CSS, where you see the syntax is very similar, but it's actually a value of the style attribute. This is one way to put CSS. It's called inline. There are three ways, essentially three ways to add CSS to a page or to some HTML. One of them is the inline way, which is basically that you add the style using a style tag, a style attribute directly to the tag you want it to apply to. So you will see that now the result is exactly the same. It's more clean, it's cleaner, and more in line with what you should be doing. All right. And again, let's do again a little bit of CSS here. I don't know. You can do whatever you want. The 2 pixels solid red. Okay, so we add 2 pixels solid, which means without dots or anything like that. And you see that now we have in the WYSIWYG. So what you see, what you get, preview. Then we save it, and then you see it here. And as Scotty likes to say, sometimes when web developers see this, they actually see this. Okay, it's even clearer actually here because it makes more sense. It's more structured. It's more understandable. And I would like for you or some of you to actually be able to do that, because that is very, very effective, and it allows you to control and to have total control. By the way, we see here the power of CSS and relative width and all that. You see that we said 50%. So here is 50. And then if we, change the screen, it's 50. And here is 50%, obviously, of the available space. Okay, but that's going to be something we're going to talk about when we're going to talk about CSS. All right. Then we have, okay, I just showed up. No. The paste HTML. What about multiple locations in one map? Jody, that's a great question. Multiple locations in one map is something that you would do with a list of elements. Okay, so you create a list of elements, you add an address to each item, and that's going to show up as multiple elements, multiple markers. But I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you that. Actually, I'm going to show you that we're going to see that. We're going to see that. Charles, there size limits on attachments. I think it's 10 megabytes, if I remember correctly. I think it's 10 megabytes. Would be great to have tabs widget added to our widget. The list widget doesn't replicate tab style and traditional tab page layout. The actual list can work also as a tabbed. Can have different layouts. Especially, what is especially useful, I think, is the list and the map, and we're going to see that. For comments to work on the website, one needs to have no. Well, yeah. Sorry, Chandra. Yes, one needs to have a Facebook account. You don't need a Facebook account to activate the comments widget, the comments feature on the platform, on the website. You need to have a Facebook account. Yes, but that's a way to make sure that people don't spam, don't harass other people, and all that. Various options, your location. Keith, that's a great idea. A little bit complex, but that's a great idea. Chandra, no, the CSS, adding a lot of CSS doesn't really slow down the website. As we said many times, the fastest website is one with the default with default style, default CSS, without any added, content or anything else, obviously. But that's a website straight out of, I don't know, 1989 probably. So no, CSS when used, actually inline CSS, so the one I showed you, is actually the most efficient way to add CSS, because it is in the you're not using external files or something like that. And other ways to add CSS in the page, more or less as we do, but no, CSS doesn't really slow down, and it's the norm. And actually, a lot of effects are now native to CSS, like animations, transitions, and all that. So if you need to use CSS to style your website. It's normal, and it's a standard practice. So no, don't worry absolutely about that. So yeah, let's see how to generate a list of geolocated items. Okay, it is extremely simple, and maybe it's a little bit too simple, and that's why sometimes you don't realize, because that's one thing that we do on MobiFirst. We made things very, very simple, maybe too simple, so you didn't even notice that they are there. So let's add one item. Okay, so let's say Colosseum. I guess it's like that. Okay, and then we're gonna add a map here. So Colosseum. All right. So that's the address of the Colosseum. Okay, in Rome, and then we save it. So right, that's the first item. Okay, let's clear a little bit the page. So we're gonna delete the content block. All right. So you see, we have this list with one item, and if we open it, there's that. Then let's add another item, and so we are gonna add Pantheon, okay, which is another monument in Rome. I'm sorry, let's say I lived quite a few years in Rome, and so I'm gonna use that as an example. And then we're gonna add the map also to this item, and we're gonna use Pantheon. All right, okay, right. So now we have two items, okay, in our list. If you check, you already previewed this somehow, but if you notice, we have two tabs now. The default tab is the list tab, but if we click on map, check that out. Okay, so now we have these two items on the map. Okay, and the map is usually made in such a way with zooming and all that, that all markers, all items fit in it, right? So check that out. Let's add another one. Let's add the Trevi Fountain, okay? Trevi Fountain, right? So let's go here, location and map, Fontana di Trevi. All right, there it is. All right, save and update. Ta-da! Okay, and you see that always fits. And if we put something which is way out of this, the map of this, let's say, area, the map will be zoomed out enough in this case, that it will correctly show the all of the items in the map. You can always switch to the tabs. Check that out. Check the URL. By the way, check the address bar. If you notice, when we click on a tab, the address bar changes, so that when we share this page, that tab will be the one open. Check also a few other things. If we go in the list management, okay, so you see that we have this section right here, search, pagination, order, and tabs. Okay, and so we can say manage this list tabs, and we can say hide additional tabs. So we can also tell the system to show only one tab, right, without showing all of them. Okay, so let's say that we only want the map with markers. So we say hide additional tabs, yes, and then use the map with markers as the main tab. Okay, so now you see that the tabbing is gone, and we only have the map with the markers. All right, so now we can also remove the hide additional tabs. So in this case, we will still have the tabbing, but the main tab will always, the tab that will be open first will always be the map. All right. So that's, I hope, an answer to your question, and that's also something that I hope.
I learned again.
Yeah.
That's cool.
All right. No, sorry, Keith. At the moment, the only tabbing that we have is that one that I showed you, right? So only, let's say, the same list content. We don't have a tabbing as, but it's something that you can replicate with CSS, obviously. And let me show you one little thing. Let's see if I remember where it is. Oh no, why is my localhost machine? Oh, I wanted to show you my website. Start. Because I'm really proud of it actually, and I want to show you just to show you what you can do with CSS. Okay. Okay, not yet. Well, anyway, as it loads, we're gonna do something else. Just to show you the power of CSS. Okay. Ta-da-da. Okay. Yes. Now we should have it. All right. So just to show, this is my local development machine. Okay. And this is my personal the website, my personal website I'm working on, and this is it. Okay, this is a website with built with CSS and Mobi first. Okay, so you see that you can, it's actually looks like um, a terminal, right? But it's a website because you can click on stuff, you can type, and then so this is just a little bit of JavaScript and a little bit of CSS. Okay, and then we also have Cowsay. I don't know if you've ever heard of this or something like that, but it's a lot of fun to actually code something like this. So this is what you can do with a little, and this is a regular website. You see, it has a web address and everything like that. Okay, so it looks like a terminal, it behaves like a terminal, but it's a website, and the content is here. If you check the source code, you see that it's a website. Okay, and this is, when I have time, I like to play with a little bit with CSS and my website and all that. And this is mobile and desktop and all that. So this is just to say, well, first of all, I wanted to show you this because I'm really proud of it. And secondly, it's something that you can do with Mobi first. This is a Mobi first website. All right. Cindy, notice that the icons disappear for a second. What caused them to go away from the map? That is what I meant when I said that we defer loading of contents to make sure that the websites are load always as fast as possible. Okay. Sometimes you lose them for a few milliseconds so that the browser can actually load the most important elements, and then you don't. I mean, the user experience is not affected. Okay. All right. So let's proceed. One thing that I wanted to talk about, since we mentioned it the other in last Monday, is the Panorama widget. The Panorama widget, and I just downloaded some images from Wikipedia because we remember we talked about actually the need to have a specific camera that takes and they are called X blah blah blah. They're called X equirectangular. There it is, equirectangular 360 pictures. Okay, these kind of pictures, right? You see them. When you don't see them in a Panorama widget, they look like this. Okay, but when you upload them to a Panorama widget and you use the Panorama widget, when you upload them on a Panorama widget on Mobi first, then they actually look like this. Okay, so you see that this is a church. I don't know where. I just downloaded it from Wikipedia. But you see the power of this, for example, for real estate, and then you can scroll in, you can zoom out, and all you have to do is just upload an image. And here's another example. Okay, so all you have to do is take a picture and then upload it. And then another cool feature, I think, which is pretty cool, is that, as we mentioned the other day, we can have hotspots. All right, so you add hotspots, and then you select the color, the hotspot color, the icon color, and then the kind of icon that you want to show, and then you just position it, just literally double clicking on the image, right? And you position it somewhere. So let's add another hotspot. Okay, so you just say add a new hotspot. Okay, then you say this is very cool. Okay, you can add a link so that when people click on it, they are taken to a link. and then we can have, I don't know, we can just, and all you have to do is just double click, and you see that the hotspot is added to the place that you want, right? And then you save and update. And then now when you go here, you see that we have one hotspot that I added previously, and then this is the other hotspot that we added. So this allows you also to navigate, because as you have seen, you can add a link. So this allows you to navigate in between different pages, which can be filled with panorama images. Okay, so this is just to show you something that we mentioned the other day, and I wanted to show you we didn't have an image at hand, so this is how it works. You see.
That is pretty cool.
All right. Questions. Okay. Is there a prompt that creates CSS content with simply a description? Well, you can. Jay is asking this question. Well, you can play with prompts on ChatGPT. Again, AI, ChatGPT, or Bard, or whatever, they should be. That should be an assistant. You need to know what you're doing. That is why it's not a way for me to sell my CSS course, also because I don't have a CSS course yet, so I'm not selling anything. What I'm saying is that you need to learn CSS, because just copying and pasting. Again, yesterday I heard a very nice sentence that Picasso said that great artists steal, bad artists copy. Okay, there's a huge difference between stealing, which means that you make it your own, you make something that somebody else made, and that's right, but you make it your own, from copying, which means that it's always somebody else, let's say, creation, right? So that's why you need to study. Obviously, I'm not expecting you to become, a proficient and advanced CSS developer, because it's very complex, but at least the basics are really, really important, and that will make you even more effective with any suggestion that ChatGPT or whatever else might give you, right? So that is absolutely my suggestion. John, Scotty, can we build a directory style website? Yeah, it's a list in reality, and the blog is a directory. A directory is just a list of items, right? So as we have done here with the map, as we have done with the map, you can just build, and the actual map, right? And what I've shown you is, if you think about it, in this case, it's a directory of monuments, but it can be a directory of restaurants, it can be a directory of stores, it can be a directory of cities, it can be anything, right? And then bear in mind that, as with any list, when you click on the item, the pop-up will pop up with the map, with the items, with the buttons that you've added. Another thing that maybe not everybody remembers in the when we go in managing a list, which is probably the most flexible and powerful widget that we have. The most powerful is the content block, because it's the founding block rather than content block only. But the second one is the list, because it's very, very, very flexible, right? Because if you tell the system, for example, list style and layout, and you say, I want the item to open in a modal, or I want you to open in a page, okay? Then you save it, and then you have a dedicated page for each item. This is how the blog is made, and this is the directory. No, this is the directory. Let's say that you have a category, so a replica page you would have instead here, and again, let's call it monuments. All right. And then let's see another thing. Okay, you see that you can also manage the the distance. So add a search for with a near me distance, and then you can show nearby items, right? So you would say yes. Okay, nearby means 2 kilometers. Okay, which is 1.2 miles more or less. So okay, so let's go here, and now okay, so let's go Colosseum. All right. Now we don't have, but no, because it's a little bit more than 2 kilometers. Let's see here, Pantheon. Now these are two more far away actually than 2. But in with this thing, you can actually show items which are nearby. Okay, so this is extremely powerful, right? For showing other items when you have stores which are very close, or when you want to show items which are again nearby. Okay, so again, the list widget is one of the most flexible and one of the most powerful one, I think. And again, going back to the modal, makes it very compact, makes it very very effective, because you never leave the page. Basically, you always stay here, and then you just open it up in a modal, and then you can navigate the items in the list by just clicking on the navigation buttons, and you change the order. Okay, you can change the order of each item. So you put the Trevi Fountain now, for example, as the first one, and then we say that the list is the actual default list. All right. Okay. So here now you see we have changed the order. Okay, and then here we can navigate among the items with the order that we decided. So this is extremely powerful for building any kind of list that you might think of. Okay. Let's not forget that we can use tags also. Okay, so for example, we can tag this as I don't know, Roman. Okay, let's say, and that's how you manage tags. You just start typing tags. Okay, and then when you're happy, you either press enter or comma. So now this item will have the Roman, in this case, tag. Okay, then we go back to the list, and then we say Colosseum. All right, and this is also Roman, and you see that it's either new, or it suggests you the one that start with the letters you have been typing. All right, and then here below we can also manage similar and nearby. All right, so we can say, okay, do we want to show a similar item? Yes, the Pantheon. So now we save this. All right, and then here, when we go to the Colosseum, you see that the system tells you might also like, now we didn't upload any image, but it shows you a similar, what we selected, a similar item. This is extremely powerful for e-commerce, for example, because obviously we haven't yet touched the e-commerce aspects of the platform, but you can already imagine how powerful this could be in an e-commerce environment, in an e-commerce website, where you would show similar items and all that kind of stuff. But still, it's very very powerful for a list of items, a list of locations, a list of restaurants, or anything like that. All right. The Baron widget is fantastic. Where do we find a new page layout shown in the last session that builds a page quickly? It's the AI kit. It's the AI features you see when you go in the pages. Let's say when you go create a new page. Okay. When you go create a new page, you have this create a page with AI option. So you click there, and then you see the page structure, and then you set the page topic and keywords, and you choose the images category, and it just creates the page with you for you using AI and the layout that you chose. For the panorama firmware to work, would we need to upload? Yes, not a video, but actually a 360 image. Yes, again, which is called equirectangular 360. All right, so it's an image that, when not shown in a widget like the one we have, looks like this. All right, and when shown, looks like this. and you can move it around and add and all that. For the panorama, yeah, Chris Harris. Will it be possible to add hotspots to any image through a social widget? Chris, I'm not sure I fully understand what you mean. I guess you could use. We could add the option to add hotspots to any image. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thanks, Spencer. Wow, the panoramic feature opens so many opportunities. Just great. Thank you, John. Don, I created a basic business directory for pickleball. Go for it. Australia, which they now edit, update themselves. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. A list of widget map on the other websites or apps. Okay, it would be great if we could embed the list widget map on other websites or apps. All right. Well, Keith, that's a great question, actually. And in reality, I think that in some ways you can, in a sense that you can create a page. Let's say, okay, you see this page right here. This is a page, okay, which has a widget at the top. Let's see here. Now you can, let's say that we want to embed this, okay. So we go, what is this? Another, okay, it's this one, another panorama. All right. So we remove the header, let's say, and then at that point, all you have to do in reality is embed this URL in an iframe, because that's what it means. That's currently what it means to embed a website into another page. Now, I understand that maybe it would be more effective if we provided, and that's something I would like to work on, a way to embed single widgets. Okay. So we will work on that with some JavaScript in that case, just like Facebook does with their widgets, with their, let's say, elements or any other party that provides third party elements does. But at the moment, you just create an iframe. You give the source of the iframe as this URL, and you have it embedded in any other website. Okay, it's as simple as that in some cases. Replacement set out shortly after the events. Also, finally, yes, exactly. Thanks, Jody. I like the way you have done the pickleball. All right, awesome. Is there an iframe widget? Well, no, the iframe. Well, Keith, open a ticket about that. It is saying that the platform doesn't show the A option. Most likely, it's not enabled on your account. But I know you are white. I guess if I remember correctly, you are white label. So you should have that enabled. So just open a ticket, and we will add that product to your account.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Is there an iframe widget? Well, not really. Again, I said in reality, the iframe is let's say low level version of doing it. The higher level, let's say, would be some pieces of JavaScript, but an iframe is just in reality is just you see a piece of the iframe is just this. You see, it's just a piece of code that where you specify the width, the height, and then a source with src equal, and then you put the URL of the page that you want to embed. If you think about it, this one, okay, in the editor, and by the way, as soon as we will have time, we will update the the preview phone. But this one is an iframe. Okay, you see, it's just an iframe where the contents are embedded with the core 3 URL. All right, so that's really as simple as that. Yeah, Chandra, I have some few upgrades in Mobifirst. By purchasing white label, will we get all the upgrades? Again, Scotty here, correct me if I'm wrong, but white labels are, let's say, the most advanced and most complete plans that we offer. So if you are now on what we call commercial, so non-white label, and you have some features and some upgrades, going white label will just add the ability to be white label, so to have your own customers also on your account. Omar, can it be a hotspot tutorial video on Mobi First Plus? You mean the one for the panorama? I guess we have overlooked a little bit maybe in the panorama widget.
We may not have the hotspot
Scotty,
part of it.
Yeah, Scotty, if maybe we can just mark this down and remind Chad to do a little tutorial about the panorama,
sure.
general, how to get, maybe also as very small mention on what kind of cameras you need to buy or you need to use to get. I think an iPhone can be used for these kind of pictures, but I'm not sure about that. Again, back in the days when I used to do real estate websites for real estate, I had to buy a camera dedicated, and then with the hotspots and all that. So yeah, we'll do a tutorial about that.
Cindy D, Scotty, just a sec here. Let's sec here. Cindy, please clarify whether there will be cost for what they were planning to set to get upgrades. How will that work for new white label going? Let me see, please, whether there will be a cost for white label plans to get upgrades.
Well, while you read that, I'll answer Jay, which asks, are attachments uploaded directly to the AWS server to download, or do we upload from any location where the files reside? Now, you have it on your computer, okay? So you upload it to our machine, let's say to our server, to our platform, and I'm telling you, and actually you could tell from the URL, but I'm telling you that for hosting all our images, all our attachments and all that, we use AWS. Okay, so you just upload them to the Mobi First platform. All right, you don't really have to worry about anything. You just upload it, and then we process it, and we move it, and we host it there. It's just I just wanted to let you know that we use that infrastructure to host our website, all the, let's say, content for our websites. And let's not forget that for images, which are obviously an extremely important part in terms of the visual and user experience, and in terms of performances, we pass all our images through a CDN, a dedicated CDN, which means Content Delivery Network, where basically every image is on the fly optimized for the device which is actually accessing the website. So that ensures that your pages and your images are always as optimized as possible for the contents that are shown, that are viewed in that moment. Scotty, maybe you want to answer Cindy's question.
Yeah, Cindy, I'm not 100% sure of what you're meaning, but because some of us, I know you go back with us for a while on your white label and you have something that's unique. But for the most part, if you are a white label owner, obviously you get a lot more functionality. And if I'm reading it correctly, as we bring out new features, as we bring out new features, let's just say you have a plan from today going forward. So say the white label one, and we bring out new features. They will be available to be purchased by the white label. That doesn't mean that I may be misunderstanding the question. It doesn't mean that they get every single feature that we have coming out for free. That has nothing to do with white label. If I'm misunderstanding the question. If you are a white label owner, you get the white label functionality, and Cindy, you know what those are. For those who need more information on that, please just attend our Thursday webinar. And quite frankly, the way I look at it, if you're a white label owner and we came out with a new feature, right, and there's a cost to it, well, do you have to buy that right then before you could actually turn around and sell it to somebody? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's one of the things that I love about being a white label owner. We come out with a new feature, a new widget, new something, right? Now you market that to all your people that you're trying to market it to, right? And then now you had somebody goes, hey, I want to buy the XYZ widget. Then you go ahead and you buy it from us and you just upsold it. I mean, if you kind of think about it in that way, that's like, holy geez, I can actually sell this thing before. Like maybe it's a booking widget. Whatever it is white label. And as we get into these discussions on Thursdays, I'll show you a feature that we have in white label where you could take the price that you paid it from us and charge whatever you want to on that thing. So hopefully I answered that. Okay. Okay, Cindy. Cindy's been with us for quite a long while. So, and Cindy, if I need any more further explanation, just message me.
Yeah, Omar, also, please open a ticket about that, because you should see, if you have upgraded and you have the AI feature, you should see
Correct.
the create a page with
Yeah.
AI options. So if it's not there, we need to understand why. Most likely the account was not upgraded correctly or something else. We
Sure.
will explore it. I mean,
Something
please,
simple.
please open a ticket and we'll fix it right
Let me
away.
answer Marissa too. She is.
Mhm.
I have both commercial and white label, and I bought PWA and AI. And that commercial, do I have to buy again for the white label? Is completely different. You keep what you would have. You then be adding the white label features to it. So, yes, yes. The answer to that question would be you would now be in having one, not multiple payments, right? So let's kind of put that into as well. So if you actually are on something like the PWA and you bought the annual, once you get to the white label one, now you're on the white label one, and the annual one is kind of like gone away, if you will. But you don't have to pay two; you're just paying one. You're just switching.
Yeah. You need to cancel that. Obviously, it's not automatic at the moment. So remember to cancel, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Omar. All right. Awesome. Yeah. Well, as usual, time is running. I mean,
Yes,
like
we're right at the.
crazy. I wanted to talk about bookings. I wanted to talk about the flip card. I wanted to talk about, the menu, the food menu. So there are so many things to talk about. What we are ready, the scratch card. I mean, there are so many things that
Oh yeah.
we need to talk about. Yeah. So I guess
Keep
that we
attending.
are already at the end of the hour,
Yes.
and
Keep
yeah, sorry,
showing
go
up.
ahead.
Keep showing up. There
Yeah,
hasn't been.
exactly, because as you have seen, it takes more than 1 hour to answer all your questions, to even go through one single widget, and we always skip a few things.
Hmm.
So let's keep doing this, I guess. I hope
Well,
you
it's
are
perfect.
enjoying it, and I
Who's
hope you
learning?
find value, in what we do at the moment.
Right?
And
Who's learning? That's the. I've had this thing probably second longest. Silvio first, me second, and every single webinar, I have learned something. I have learned stuff that I didn't even know to ask. I mean, if you're anything like me, I want to learn something new every single day. Well, with this platform, that makes it a no-brainer, right? So who's learning from this? I mean, who's just looking at this and going, "Wow, I thought I had a great platform, but now this thing is just getting better." It is. Even if some of these features you don't end up implementing, which you should. If it's me, as soon as this ends, I'm going and I'm playing with it to kind of lock it in my brain. You start to realize more things that you're actually able to talk about to your customers in an intelligent way, right? I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. You're not saying Moby first can do this. You're saying I can do
yes,
this. So that's one of the biggest things. And so this is also why we talk about the white label version. Hey, there's a lot more things that you can actually do with that than you're currently doing with your platform as is. So I know I'm learning. I appreciate Silvio. He's teaching without me even without him even knowing I'm asking for lessons. So right, this is yes, James, and James has been with us forever. So to me, if I had somebody who is that's like me, I'm a golf professional. What would you do if I ran into you and you're the general average golfer on the driving range and you see me and you understand that I'm hitting the golf ball, I could do really well. And then would you accept help from me? Right? If you're right beside me, would you even possibly even ask me for help? Right? And what if I offered you help? What if I said to you, you know what, I see something. Do you mind if I could help you out with a little bit? I kind of know what I'm doing. And the person would be, would you take that? Yes. Of course you would, right? That's kind of what Silvio is, right? He is offering some of his knowledge. So I can't wait for him to come out with a course because the more that you can learn about anything, especially if you're trying to make some side hustle or main hustle with this platform, get whatever that man could teach us, right? So awesome. So again, thank you,
awesome.
Silvio.
Well, thank you all, guys. It's always fun. It's always nice. Chandra, feel free to send a ticket. And address it. Let's say to me. I mean, send it to the support. But I'm always more and more interested in that kind of stuff. Yeah, and yeah, exactly.
John.
Thank you, Mark. And
John, yes.
awesome. Yeah, I mean, let's keep showing up and let's keep having fun, asking
yeah.
questions. And there was a question, a very interesting question actually, from. Oh, well, I sorry, I missed it. Could we have a list, Patrick? Could we have a list of planned topics? Well, for the next weeks, it's gonna be the widgets. Okay, so but as you have seen, we like to be we like to engage a lot with the feedback that we get. So we want to talk about the widgets, but then we get a few questions, and then honestly, Mobi First is full of rabbit holes, because if you go down the I don't know like content block rabbit hole, you spend an hour talking about
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah.
So let's keep this as a weekly, for the moment, just weekly meeting that we have together. We discuss becoming proficient at Mobi First, building website, CSS, a little bit of JavaScript, thinking about web development and all that. That's what we're going to talk about, right? Focusing on at the moment the widgets. So in the next weeks, we're going to mostly talk about the widgets. All right.
Excellent. All right. Thanks, everybody. We will send it out. An invite for this Thursday one, which I will be going over more white label. We will be talking about that on Thursday. So until then, have yourselves a great couple of days, everybody.
Awesome. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.